Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I got a quick little surprise video for you guys. I just got this in the mail and I wanted to show you real quick how to set it up. It's quick, easy, simple setup. It's the Wi-Fi porter from 10-1 Design. I've been seeing this in ads here and there all over the internet, and I figured I'd try it out eventually, and that day has come. So we'll show you real quick how to set it up. It's real quick and easy. Probably takes no more than 5-10 minutes. And we'll show you how to, activate everything and go from there. So let's get started. Okay, so I was doing a couple of things around the house and the office, and this box just showed up. So I figured, hey, time for another unboxing. I'm really excited about this. I've been looking forward to getting one of these for a while now, and just went ahead and did it for Christmas. So you get this little greeting card with instructions. And here is the porter. You have mounting hardware in case you want to mount it. A little bracket on the back. That part comes off as well. So I'm more so thinking about putting mine on the counter. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, so just have it down there like that. Let's see what else comes in the box, if there's anything. Oh, that's it. Okay, so now we're at the portersetup.com/setup page, and we see that you can set up this device with your Android or iPhone. Since we're on the new MacBook M1, we're going to go ahead and see if the app is available for the M1. So you're going to go ahead and click on download the App Store, and it looks like it is because it says view in the Mac App Store. So we're just going to switch over to that. All right, so when we click on the download button, and we're going to go ahead and hit open, let's see what we get. All right, so there's an option for get started. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and we get a notification that says limited setup mode. This device can configure Wi-Fi porter's QR code for other iPhones to use. To also set up one-tap Wi-Fi, which we would need for the Android, you're going to need to use an iPhone 7 or later with the latest version of iOS installed. So keep that in mind. If you plan to get one of these, you're going to need one of or access to one of the more recent iPhones or Android devices. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and we will set this up on the Android. So let's go ahead and switch over to that screen. All right, so on the Android, we already have the porter set up by 10-1 Design app pulled up. We're going to go ahead and hit install. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and hit open. So the first thing it wants you to do is tap your phone on the porter device. So we're going to try to do this multi-feed right here. All right, and as we can see, it says new Wi-Fi porter. So we're going to go ahead and go with local mode because we're not setting this up on multiple clients. We're just going to do the one. Enterprise mode, obviously, there's a subscription involved with that. So if you're setting up multiple devices, you can go with that. So we're going to go ahead and hit Setup Porter. We're going to go ahead and put in our Wi-Fi network name and the information to get it set up. And we will proceed from there. So once you have your information in, you're going to tell it what type of network it is. Most people use WPA and WPA2, and whether or not your network is hidden. Ours currently isn't. Or you have the option down here to load current Wi-Fi network name. And then it's going to review that information. We're going to go ahead and hit continue. And it asks, would you like to prevent other phones from reconfiguring this Wi-Fi porter? And at this time, we're going to go ahead and hit yes. It grants you a passcode. You need to store this somewhere safe. In case you need it later. Obviously, it's blocked out on mine. But in the event you guys, lose your phone or whatever, you'll need that passcode. So we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And we're going to name it. Whatever, and this name's arbitrary, it's just whatever you want to name it. You're going to go ahead and hit configure. Then you're going to tap it again. And this basically programs the porter. And then from there, it's saying that it's done and that now you can print this setup information. And this is what you're going to print and then cut out and put in that little display window. Now, again, if you want, you can actually put this on cardstock or something like that. That's what I would advise. And that's what I'm going to do. So that way, once you get it in there, it's nice and a little bit more rigid than regular, just loose leaf paper. That would be what I would advise. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll switch over and I'll show you guys how easy it is to just put this in here and use it moving forward. Okay, so one more thing I thought was worth mentioning is when you actually get to this page right here, is you can email and or share this as well as print. But one thing you may want to do before you do that is click the little pencil button to edit. If you're like me and you don't want the SSID and password to show, which is kind of the entire point, just turn that box off. And for title, we're going to go ahead and put welcome, and you can put whatever you named it to, your house or whatever. And another thing you can do to kind of jazz it up, especially like during the winter or the holidays, if you have some decorative paper or something, not just cardstock, you can use that to change the color of the background. So if you have a theme of your house, or like let's say Christmas just passed, print it on red cardstock, and then that way you'll be able to add a festive look to it and kind of match the theme of everything else you have going on. And then from here, again, you just email, print, or share like you would in the previous step. Okay, so one more thing you can do during setup, or you can go back in and edit the configuration. You would tap the Wi-Fi porter from the app and select edit configuration. You can edit any of the settings you already have in here, but what I thought was a little bit more interesting was actually when you get to the name your location section, where you can give the porter a name, name it your house name, or if you have something like that that you use. When you click show configuration, you have a few more options that you can actually adjust. You can adjust the background text and color that an individual will see when they tap and select to connect to the Wi-Fi. You can put a customizable button to show up after the text. you can actually set up more options like installing a Wi-Fi profile on the iPhone instead of, and this is more so on the newer iPhones, instead of scanning the QR code, you can actually install the Wi-Fi profile directly, which again would prevent you from having to share the SSID and password. This is what is more so used from time to time on the corporate side. You can also ignore it if you choose, or you can send password to iPhone clipboard. Again, if you're trying not to give out your password, this is the better option for the iPhone users. So you can pretty much change the background color or text to whatever you want. And then in the show preview, it'll show you what the person will see whenever they scan it. So it'll say, welcome, join Wi-Fi. You'll be prompted to install a configuration. So I thought that was pretty cool and another thing worth noting whenever you're going to set this up. All right, so I know this is kind of a low-tech solution, but at this point, there's not really many other options on the market. It does still solve an automation problem that I deal with every time someone comes to my house, and an option that I can give other people. So I know this is kind of low-tech, but I'm going to show it just because it's part of the process. So you're going to cut this part out, and I'll show you how to set it up here in just a second. All right, so now that you have this piece cut out, just gonna go ahead and there's a little hole in the back of here. Stick your finger in there. This is held in with magnets and it just pops out. Discard the old one. Gonna pop in this guy. And there you go, you're ready to scan. So the QR code can be for any device that uses QR codes to set up, Wi-Fi account. This side's going to be for any device that uses NFC. This is more so what you're paying for is the NFC. But in conjunction, you can pretty much use any phone that's current, that's a smartphone that can connect to Wi-Fi using one of these two setups. This one's about 110, 120 bucks, depending on if it's on sale or not. And then there's a $50, $60 model that doesn't have this little display screen. Now this isn't like an e-ink screen or anything. You actually print these out. And this side has the NFC in it to where you can just put your device over it and it'll connect to the Wi-Fi network. So depending on what type of device you have, you're covered either way. That's kind of why I wanted the $100 model instead of the $50 model, which looks just like a puck and it's about that half the size. To each his own. I don't think the $50 model comes with as intricate as a mounting bracket as well. But if you are interested, here's pretty much how this one works. So we're going to go into our Wi-Fi. And just for the sake of the video, I'm going to disconnect from my current Wi-Fi network. And from here, we're just going to tap the device. And a notification comes up to connect to the network. And that's it. We are now connected. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for the Wi-Fi Porter by 10-1 Design. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if so, make sure you like and subscribe so you see more stuff like this as I produce it. See you guys on the next one. Later.